science into traditional farming methods to enhance productivity and sustainability. Under his leadership, Nairita Services has made significant strides in revolutionizing agricultural practices, focusing on specific areas like water management, crop diversification, sustainable farming techniques. He has also spearheaded initiatives that promote the use of cutting edge technologies and eco friendly practices addressing critical challenges such as water scarcity and soil degradation. His work emphasizes the importance of balancing agricultural productivity with environmental stewardship, striving to create systems that benefit both farmers and the ecosystem. Biplab Sir's efforts extend beyond technological innovation. He is deeply involved in community outreach and education, working closely with local farmers to implement best practices and improve their livelihoods. In addition to his groundwork, Sir is an advocate for policy changes that support sustainable agriculture and entrepreneurial ventures in the sector. His vision for a resilient and inclusive agricultural landscape reflects a broader commitment to using entrepreneurship as a tool for socio-economic development and environmental conservation. His leadership and dedication to agricultural innovation continues to drive significant progress in this field, demonstrating his belief that a sustainable approach for farming can lead to both economic and ecological benefits. This was a small brief about Biplab sir. I request all the joinees to make this session an interactive one by asking you questions. Please put your questions in the chat box, or you may raise your hand and we will unmute you for a short dialogue with our expert today. Biplab sir, the room is yours now.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Vasala, for giving this unique opportunity. And obviously, City Innovation Lab in Startup, City Social Innovation Lab in IIT Kanpur. So SIIC, it is extremely, what I can say, prestigious to be here. And my friends and my students and my what I can say team members, I am really grateful that you took your time to be here. So before starting the session, I like to share with you that it is not a jargon centric or bombastic statement centric session. I have tried to minimize the wording such that more and more thought provoking, thought challenging words can come into your mind, and then you can be better than me. So that is point number one. And point number two, the session doesn't end here. If you have any question anytime, even after the session, you are always welcome. I have given my all detail at the end of the slide. You can connect with me over there. And third, last but not the least, is that you are always welcome to ask question. And if I cannot answer all the question, I might not be. I'll come back to you with the answer as well. So let us start for the small journey and then eating each other's brain. Let's go. Vatsala, can you share the screen of the slide, please? First slide. Full screen. Fantastic. So I am observing there are no first slide, please, Vatsala. Yeah. So if you see the first slide, I'm observing there are nearly 49 participants are there, 46 or 49 participants are there in this session. So in the left hand side, there are some people. Only one lady, sorry. I was looking for more ladies, but only one lady. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. So whoever is there in this participant list today's session, I am sure few of them are over there in the photograph also. So this photograph is not mine. This photograph I have taken from IIT Kanpur SIIC. So when SIIC is putting your face on their cover page or on their main page, that means a huge recognition. And the right-hand side, you can find some of the organizations, which is also, SIIC has put more than other organizations. So I have taken few of them from the screen of SIIC and put it there side by side. So left-hand side, you in black and white, you can get our heroes or top leaders. And the right-hand side are the list of the organization, why they are hero, why these people became hero for this organization. So today, when you're talking of storyboarding your pitch, I think you might be knowing what is storyboarding, correct? If any one of you heard of Satyajit Roy, he's a Bengali filmmaker. He is one of the Oscar winner, first Oscar winner from India, if I'm not wrong, for filmmaking. Before making any film, he used to draw each frame of the film. That means whatever the film he'll be making, that is totally drawn on a piece of paper, frame by frame by frame by frame by frame by frame by frame. So when he's going for the filming, he knows precisely what will be the sequence, what will be the angle, who will be the character, what is the frame, how many people will be there, what they will talk, how they will talk, from which angle that will be spoken, and how camera will capture, how many cameras will be there. So this whole process is called storyboarding. Storyboarding, there are different definitions. You can check different experiences. You can check there are 2 TED Talks also. You can check on the website or even YouTube. I don't like to repeat them. I'm giving you a real life example, Satyajit Roy, and that makes his work so foolproof and so accurate. If you see his films and if you go back correspondingly to that storyboard where he drew every frame, and then you can correlate the film and the storyboard, then you can find how amazingly detailed, how amazingly he has captured his every step in future from the paper and pen and simple drawing. He was amazing painter, that is his skill. But that what I'm trying to share with you, brothers and sisters, obviously, whatever you're looking for after a certain period of time, if you can jolly well jot it down detail as possible, then your risk of failure or risk of what I can say challenges will be much more minimized. So Satish Dai's films were done absolutely in sequence of the storyboard, and each of the film is masterpiece, and he is considered one of the masterpiece filmmaker in India. So you can link his scale, his quality, his skill, his masterpiece-ness, or his level of approximate skill to the detailing, lowest level of the detailing and the granular level to make it absolutely perfect. My message over here is to all of you is that, brother and sister, whenever you are planning to do something further, whether it's in the startup level, in the technology level, in the innovation level, in the market level, in the investment level, in the fundraising level, in the partnership level, in the cooperation level, in the merger level, in the acquisition level, in the government level, policy level, whatever the segment you like to go, whatever the segment you like to reach, you detail it granular level, create a flow of action, possible factors, the verticals, determinants, people, partnership, and interaction as detailed as possible, which will make your program successful, foolproof, efficient, result-oriented, and most importantly, people in front of you give you respect and dignity because they know you are coming with a thorough planning. So that is our today's whole message, and I'll try to handhold you through that path. If you are going for a pitch, how you can look at that and how you can go ahead it and how can make it happen. Next slide, please. So if you see the first slide, if you can remember the first slide after my monologue, you have the people. So there are some people you might be knowing, some people you might not be knowing, but some people are quite popular and maybe you can consider them as a famous and successful. So I need one answer from chat. If you are following me in the, there are 45 people are there, suppose 40 or whoever the participants who are not SIIC team, but outside SIIC team, I need a chat reply. How many of them you know, and how do you agree with us that whether they are famous and successful? So answer number one, how many? So out of 2 plus out of 7, how many or 7 out of 7, how many you know, and how many of them you feel famous or successful? Famous or successful? So either famous or successful or both, whatever the way. I need that answer in the chat. Vatsala, can you keep that track on the chat also?
Yes, sir, I have a track. So Rahul
Perfect.
Gupta replies too.
Yeah, so I'll be expecting out of 45, if the SIC team is out or the participants outside the SIC team, if they can fit, then it will be easier for us to understand how they are faring up. Then continue that thing, but we'll keep that. I will come back to that part later on. So now the next question should be: suppose if you say Sandeep Patel, he's a left-hand corner, white T-shirt. Yeah, he is in white shirt. So Sandeep Patel, I have seen Sandeep Patel from the days 2013 and today 2024, and it's an amazing mercurial progress and mercurial success. So he is famous. Obviously he is famous because his mask is getting used by none other than our prime minister, and that is also in the Ram Janmabhoomi inauguration program. I don't know whether you guys knows it or not, but I know it personally because I was part of that program, so I know I was seeing that thing, so I know how important it is to reach that level of efficiency or acceptance. That is one. So he is very famous, and there is no doubt he is successful. So I will give you one simple example nugget of Sandeep Patel's and my introduction, my discussion long back 2013 when 2012 13 when I first put my feet inside IIT Kanpur Incubation Center. That time even fast was not developed, was getting maturing, and that's getting ready. Sandeep, one fine morning, Sandeep was having a cup of coffee with me, and he was telling me, "Sir, I'll speak in Hindi, then you guys can understand it because that is the nuance, and then I'll translate in English to you." Sandeep was telling me, "Sir, पानी के ऊपर तो ड्रिंकिंग वाटर तो काम कर लिया सर. मैं आईआईटी कानपुर में हूँ. क्यों ना ऐसा कुछ सोचता है कि महाराष्ट्र के लिए पूरा महाराष्ट्र के लिए कुछ करे." Now that hit me absolutely. It was quite a cold morning in Kanpur, and the guy, that time he was a budding entrepreneur. 2013, 14, 13, he was a budding entrepreneur. Correct? He was done some work, but not mask hasn't come till that time. Okay, before that he was doing the drinking water purification process, and that was quite highly successful. But yet it has to scale up quite a bit. But what I loved in his statement is that a young chap, 2013, 10 years, 11 years back, maybe he was 30, 30, 31, 32, 33. A 33-year-old guy somehow trying to get a success in his entrepreneurship, has a good innovation, has a good path, has a good business plan. But the guy is thinking beyond that. He's thinking far ahead of it. He told me that, "Sir, let us do something for Maharashtra." So he is not confining himself within his innovation, within his startup, within his money, within his investment, within his team, etc., 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 etc. He has gone far beyond it. And that, for me, that is the real success. That gives you the real human quality of the innovator, entrepreneur, startup guy. Once you cultivate yourself beyond the nitty-gritty of your program and you are thinking larger, and that is the positive thinking, nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop you, and success is coming to kiss your feet. People go after money. I always tell, go for the perfection, money will come and kiss your feet. People go for the fame. I will don't waste your time for the fame. Deliver the result which matters. Fame will come and kiss your feet. People go for the media coverage. I will never waste your time or money for media coverage. Do the best work. Media needs good stories. They will come and kiss your feet. Sandeep Patel that time showed all these characteristics and qualities to go forward. And as a mentor, as an elder brother, I was so happy that that person is thinking beyond himself and going forward. So today, when we are talking of storyboarding, we'll also talk about your own development little bit, which will compensate each other as a complementary. Next slide, please. So first, I will talk a little bit about your pitch, because that is Vatsala madam has given me task, so I cannot say no to it. So first, I will talk on the your storyboarding of the pitch. In that whole talk, I will also try to give you actual case studies and within your circle or around your circle, and then try to link mini micro to meso, mini macro to meso to macro to super macro to policy. So these are the way we'll go forward. So if we are looking for any pitch storyboarding, I have given the example of how Satyajit Ray has done it as a filmmaking. You can do it for your organization. Process is same, tools are same. Only people has to do it by themselves. Nobody is Satyajit Ray. So Satyajit Ray was one and alone. But you guys can do it on your level. You cannot draw it fine, but you can try to do step 1, step 2, step 3 level. So I will tell you all these processes one by one. So most important part in this whole affair is that if you are making a pitch, why are you making a pitch? I will give you an example that will be very easy for you. I don't know if you are in LinkedIn. In my LinkedIn, there is a long back I covered a guy. I don't like to name him because I could not take his permission, so I'm not naming him. He is from Bihar, Begusarai. Begusarai is a sleepy place, very small place in Bihar. Small means very hinterland place in Bihar, and he struggled a lot. He struggled a lot. He studied, did good study, didn't have a single penny. His father has a small shop which was not properly running. Financially, he was in very bad shape. I was one of his evaluator in 2016 in hackathon program, Government of India, Minister of HRD, and he was representing one engineering college. I cannot name it because I haven't taken their permission. So before taking this class, this session, so that guy, there were more maybe 200 boys and girls whom I was evaluating as a part of hackathon, Ministry of HRD, Government of India in IIT Guwahati. And that guy, they came to IIT Guwahati. It was hosted in IIT. They are not IIT Guwahati students. So this guy came with a solution, and he told, sir, I like to do something good, and I like to do something sustainable, and I like to do something for my family, and I like to do something for me, and I like to do something which is financially viable. Very straightforward. He was not good in English. Never ever feel shy that you don't know English or you are not good in English. English is a language. English is not a knowledge. Knowledge is your brain, and that is your strength. So never ever shy away that you don't know English. Nobody bothers if you don't know English. We always look for the good quality in you. We don't look for good English from you. Okay. So that guy was speaking with me in Hindi. I'm not good in Hindi because I'm from Bengal. However, I was trying to listen to him. That guy was able to explain me that he likes to do something in technology fund. And then somehow the innovation he brought that could not qualify for the first final round. But this thing clicked in my mind. But out of 200 boys and girls, you cannot remember everyone after the session is over. But that guy came back to me. Now, this is interesting. He came back to me. He told me, sir, I have a medtech idea. And for that medtech idea, how should I go ahead? Because I'm a mechanical engineer, or I'm doing a third year in mechanical. That time he was a second year. Then next year he came third year mechanical engineer. I told these are the paths. Just you have to go forward. Now this slide is important for you. Why? Take his name and take his example. A guy from Bihar, Begusarai, from a class 2 engineering colleges, came up with a medtech idea, which is absolutely unbelievable for the local community. And he likes to pursue it. Once he likes to pursue it, he never had any idea what is innovation, or rather how to talk about innovation. He never has any idea who are the people can help him. He never had any idea who can give him money. He won't get any money. And if he doesn't earn some money, his father and his brother will be in deep trouble, family will be in big trouble. So he was clubbed with all the problems without any solution. Only thing he has is thought in his mind that he has a medtech idea. So first thing first, he told, sir, how can I talk? Now, there is no financial option. There is no other. His word talk means pitch for him. He even doesn't know the word pitch. He also, how can I talk? Now, listen to me very carefully. Once I sat with him, I was amazed with his idea, the way he is thinking of, the way he is jotting down everything in Hindi. But he doesn't know how to put that in the right language. Forget about English, not even in Hindi. Okay, brother. So, first thing first, we sat together and I told, whom do you like to talk? Because I was using his language because that is his comfortable. He is not comfortable in any jargon. What do you like to talk? He told me, or whom do you like to talk? He told me, I like to talk the professors who is in the medtech, but I am mechanical engineer. Nobody will listen to me. I don't have any published articles, so nobody read my papers also. I like to talk the innovators who are in this domain, with whom I like to interact and learn and then improve myself. I like to talk any angel investor. He did not use the angel investor. I like to talk who can give me some money, even 20,000 rupees. That will be big money for me. So these are the three things he told me, brother. These are three things are no way related to any IIT students, because these are the very simple thing, but for him it's a big thing. And from that day, I started with him and we did a journey together. What is the journey? Whom to talk? Who is the person? He was so diligently reaching out and reading out about everyone whom he likes to meet, or whom he likes to talk, or whom he likes me to introduce, or whom he likes other sources to introduce. So he did a thorough research. Who are the person for him for this work is important? Why they are important? What he needs to talk with them? And what is the specific point he needs to talk to them, and how that is important for him. So, brothers and sisters, there is another organization, IIT Kanpur. I don't like to name that because I haven't taken his permission also. A few days back, we had a meeting with one investor from USA. The first thing that guy was telling me, sir, I have done the whole LinkedIn analysis of my investors. Wherever they are, who are they, how much money they put, where the money they put, why they put the money, how do they facilitate the money, how do they think of taking others into that money fold. So this is the audience research. So wherever you are, whenever you are going to give a talk, forget about pitch. I'm giving you very simple word, talk. Pitch is a very difficult word. I'll come that part also later on. But always remember who is sitting in front of you. If you have that knowledge a prior, who is going to be sitting in front of you, or who are going to be sitting in front of you, collect as much information as possible from your end about that person, that group, and collect how that information, only information doesn't take you anywhere. You have to collect that information, analyze it, and create a correlation how and where your pitch should go to get their attention, or to get your object destination easier. So how and where you are making pitch, the first strategy should be learn your audience in detail as much as possible. You might feel, sir, ye to sabko pata, everybody knows it. What is the big deal you are talking, etc., 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 etc. It is known to everybody. I totally agree with you. Everything is now whole world is a global village. Everything is accessible, knowledgeable. The most important part is a practice. How getting a knowledge is not important, but how you're practicing that knowledge is important. So my brothers and friends and juniors and seniors, my request to you, do the thorough research of the audience. Before doing the research, don't talk. Please, no pitch without audience research. Pitch you can make as beautiful as possible, but if you don't have the audience research, your pitch, your talk, and the audience will go in three directions. It might not click. It might click if you are lucky. It might not click if you are not lucky. So my point over here is that audience research is very important. Audience characteristic learning is very important. Link those characteristic learning to your pitch deliverable, pitch process, pitch body language. This way, your success propensity increases by more than 50%. Next slide, please. So if you know the audience, you know what type of people they are. And you know your work, and you know your organization, you know your solution, you know your innovation. So then, what is the most important factor after that? Always remember, any meeting, first 2 to 3 minutes are most important. I'll give you an example. I was in Stanford Business School, and I was trained by one of the topmost management, I can say Honcho, Baba. Okay, his name is Baba. I have his permission, but he taught me, so I am trying to tell you. He told me, Biplab, you can have the best of the best product in the world. You can be the best of the best person in the world. Your integrity might be the infinity. Your success might be the 1,000 times. But if you are not able to attract attentions of your audience within first 2 minutes, you're out. You are out. You are useless. You are wasting your time. You are wasting their time, and there will be no result. Baba, his full name is Dr. Baba Shiv. He is one of the topmost diggaj in the area of management, and he is basically eco-psycho expert, economic psychological expert. So what he did later on, no, last later. So what he did in this process, he said, if you start with a laptop, now this is very important. Please listen to me, brothers, everyone. If you come to a meeting and open a laptop, the person in front of you get little bit off. Always remember, it is a one-to-one meeting. His language, I'm using his language, and then I will explain you what he actually taught me, and it was very important for my life, and I diligently follow it all through my life. He told, if possible, minimize machine. This is the word. If possible, minimize machine. If possible, start and continue the talk like you are doing a friendly discussion. If you person in front of you are coming from, there are different people from different, we call different vertical background. So if the person in front of you is very formal, that you know in audience research, then you continue the audience research based decision making tools, that if he's a formal, you should be formal, you should process presentation should be formal. If the person in the audience research is quasi formal, then try to be quasi presentation. If as per the audience research, your person in front of you is absolutely informal, then don't use machine. Don't use machine, because informal people don't like machine. They like verbal, they like body language, they like eye movement, they like non-verbal communication. So as and when you will ride, or you will climb the steps of the investment protocols, the investment round, you will find the people will be more informal, because they don't like to they don't like to listen everything what they can read, or they have already read it. So they like to know what specific extra you are bringing on that plate on that day. So my point over here is that within the 3 minute, in Baba's word, 2 minute, generally in India, 3 minute, you have to catch the attention of the person, and it should be with a very, very clear message which should be touching. I will give you one example. There is a guy who is my cohort in Ashoka. He's a very big name now in aggregation making tool across Africa. He is quite junior to me. He's 10 years junior to me, and I really respect him more than anyone else because he's an amazing guy. And he is, I'll give you an example of what he told me and what he did. He had a session with Bill Gates for funding his organization for agriculture in Africa. And Bill Gates, Bill Gates, everybody knows Bill Gates, but Bill Gates gave him, okay, we can have 2 minutes or 3 minutes talk. So he never used any laptop. He never used any data, fancy data. He is very good because he's from very top college in USA, in US University. He came up with a specific case study, what Bill Gates wrote in his, there was a Bill Gates note earlier, it was coming 10 years back. I don't know whether people used to follow it. Wherever he go for 1 year, he will write a note and he will give some case studies on his note. So that guy, my cohort in Ashoka, he picked up that case study what Bill Gates has wrote and told the specific problem in that case study and how his solution can solve it. He did not do anything else, just 3 minutes, not even 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes he had. And he told me, Biplab, he used to call me Biplab, I did only one thing. I told, this is the point, you had a problem, and this is the solution my technology can bring. And now he is supported by the Bill Gates individually and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and he is now 110 countries across the world, across the world. So my point over here is that he picked up his audience emotional story. Now this is very important. He picked up his audience emotional story and hit where it hurt most and created the solution and explained his solution within that story. Just imagine the intelligence level, the deep analysis level, the deep audience research, and the deep thought process, and how simply he put without any technology. Wherever both of them are technique whiz. Bill Gates, I don't need to tell anything, and he is a technical whiz kid. He never used any technology in that talk. So these are the unique examples. Why I'm saying this to you is that this create immediate recognitions of you. Once your party in front of you, your client, your investor, your friend, your collaborator, your partner, your potential partner, government, in front of you, get interested in you, get impressed by you, like to be buying out you, then you are winning the match. And that is the first 3 minutes. Next slide, please. Vatsala, next slide, please. Yeah. So this is very interesting. I gave you the Bill Gates example, correct? And this is the example one team member shared to United Nations. And fortunately, unfortunately, our Prime Minister was also there. So she was categorically explained how women farmer, women smallholders in India are so powerful. And as because she did a whole research and she found the audience are not so good in English. If she speaks in English, her Indian English and the audience English might collide. So she used a slide, and that slide is so hitting, even in presence of our government dignitary. in United Nations, obviously not in United General Assembly, but in Site Council in the Sustainable Development Goal Program, even SDG program. And fortunately, I was also there. So the message was so shocking. During the lunch break, everyone was talking of this thing. Now, this is the impact. Your data, your message, whatever you have to have a story, and story should have such an amazing image which lingering in their back end of the mind. So nobody can say no to you, nobody can forget you, and you own the match within the first 2-3 minutes. Next slide, please. Here, people, if you see the TED Talk, or if you are taking part of the, I'm not talking about TEDx, I'm talking about TED Talk. So there is a training program in the TED Talk, unfortunately. As I was part of it. So they very clearly, they tell you, don't show data. Don't show data. Don't show graph. Don't show fancy images of the data assimilation, data culmination. No. Create stories. Create stories. So when you are defining a problem, don't give only the data. You might need to give the data, but relate the data with the context and then contextualize it to mini micro to super macro. What is mini micro? Mini macro is the granular level. So at the village level, at the last farmer, last end farmer, we call it last end service, last mile service. So that is the granular level, last part. And what is super macro is the policy level. In the national level, super macro can be different for different people, but generally it is at if you are working in the national level, it's a one farmer to the president's policy at the president level, policy decision at the president level. So this is the mini micro to super macro. So if you are trying to talk about a problem, be as simple language as possible, be as best as possible to avoid graph, data, image, explain it in the lucid language, but make it contextually relatable, and then give a hit, which hit between the eyes. They cannot forget it. So your hitting should be so hard. Starting from a small thing, it will have a so hard hitting that the impact will be much bigger. So your problem will actually lead you to the market, and that market they cannot deny. Otherwise, if you go and as you do the evaluation, many a time evaluation jury tells, oh, this TAM is absolutely useless, he is talking nonsense. That should not happen. Your problem statement should be so strong that we, the jury, if we are the jury, we ourselves calculate what is the TAM. If we calculate the TAM, you don't need to tell us TAM, correct? Because we have calculated ourselves. So your point is not giving the market. You should push us to be involved in presentation and calculate your word and then decipher what can be the market rather than you are telling us the market. So this is a very, this sounds very haphazard sometimes, but brothers and sisters, if you practice this, I will tell you how to practice this also. Nobody can stop you, and this is the way you will go forward. And even if you don't know English, we don't bother in English. If you are good in Tamil, fine. If you're good in Telugu, fine. In Bengal, I'm a Bengali, fine. Odia, fine. I don't bother. We are language agnostic. We need the brain behind it, the heart behind within your body, and 2 hands, and how many hands you can bring together. Next slide, please. Okay, so solution. So people, I will give you one snippet, and then I will tell you what we do wrong and what we should not do. I was evaluating on United Climate Innovation Lab in Newark. I was part of the jury team, and there was a guy from one country. I don't like to name that country, and he has an amazing solution for carbon capturing. Amazing. And it should be a multi-billion-dollar business. There is no question of it. The way the jury, 11 jury members were there, we all thought of. The guy came, he talked about only patent. what he did, what is the patent, how much the patent he has, and where he has taken the patent. He got totally off track. He got totally off track on explaining his solution. It happens many a time. Recently, I was part of a BIRAC jury in IIT Kanpur, and there also we found two participants. They were totally off track in answering their solution. So my request to you is that if you have a patent, if you have something to boast upon, please boast upon, but boast upon later. First, you simply explain us what is your solution and why it is unique and how you are going to solve it and how it is attacking the problem. Be as simple as possible, as easy as possible, as relatable as possible, as contextualization as possible, and as visualization as possible. If you have some photograph, image, please show. If you have a video, be very, very careful before showing the video. Run it multiple times because your platform and the jury platform might be different. Your video might not have audio, or your video frame can be slower. So if a video with a slower frame, we just dislike it. Or not be everyone dislike it. So before showing the video, run it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And if you are not having video, no problem. Nobody needs that you should have a video. Whatever you have your solution, explain it as simple, no jargon. Please, 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 when you are explaining your solution, please don't use any jargon. I was part of a another IIT evaluation committee, and there was a solution which came on the waste management, and that guy was talking of full of jargon. Okay, we know, we learn, we also know a little bit of jargon, but we don't like jargon. So not a single jury likes jargon. Always remember, not a single jury likes jargon because they have already interviewed 3 or 4 or 5 people, and you are coming to 6 people. They're exhausted, so they don't like jargon. They like simple statement, easier to understand, easier to contextualize, and easier to evaluate. If you are going for an investor have listened to this jargon all through their life. They use the jargon. So as soon as you put the jargon, they get off. So always remember, as simple as you be, as honest as you be, as contextual as you be, as relatable as you be, nobody can say no to you. Only thing over here is that why you are unique. That is the most important, and that should be clearly stated, and that should be substantiated and quantified. Otherwise, if I am an investor, why should I put money if you are not unique from others? And if I am a jury, why should I select you if you are not different from others? And if I am a connecting giver, a connection giver, a contract, a partner, collaborator, I needed uniqueness. So that is the most important message in the solution. Next slide, please. So next, your business model. I think IIT Kanpur, as you're getting incubated in the even Citibank Social Innovation Lab, if you are part of it, you have gone through business canvas development, business canvas tools, etc., etc., etc. 10 30 20 10 10 30 10 30 60 rule, 60 30 10 rule, 20 10 30 rule. Other different rules are there. You can have multiple knowledge base on that, but I don't like to discuss on those things. If we are the jury, I'll give you one example that will be very easier for you. We were part of a DST, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India jury, not for IIT Kanpur, from other institution in Gujarat. And in Gujarat, people are very smart in talking business. Average people are very smart compared to Bengali like us, because we don't know business. And so we always learn from Gujaratis in that sense. But when you are talking of business, you have to be very specific that these are my, earlier you told about innovation, you told its uniqueness, you told it how in the first 2 minutes you have captured his mind or audience mind, then you told about your innovation, its uniqueness. With that uniqueness, what are the traits you are creating for revenue generation? Whether it's a product, it's a service, or quasi product come services. Whether it's a one-time payment, or it's a multiple retention payment, or it's a fee-based structure, or it's a partnership structure. So B2B, B2C, or B2B2B. What are the models? So these are the things should be very simply told. Always remember, sometimes some presenter were very, very go extra mile to explain their business model. No, don't waste your time more than 3 minutes, not even 3 minutes, 2 minutes on the business model. It should be very clearly, this was my uniqueness I've explained, and these are the services coming from this uniqueness. These are the priceable model. These are the price. You have to give the margin, minimum price, floor price, and selling price, and this will be the price variation. This will be the price revenue model. These are my potential partner, and this is the way I will be sharing with them. Few days back, I was evaluating one, not evaluating, I was checking the financial model of one startup in IIT Kanpur, and they were telling me that there is a NGO, a very reputed NGO. They came to from Assam, from Odisha, and they like to do the contract manufacturing process for them. Now, the first question first is that in that whole model, he told that this is my 60 rupees and they'll be paying it, selling it 80 rupees, so 20 rupees margin we are sharing with the contract manufacturing, and they'll also give us a 3 lakh or 4 lakh rupees as a fees for the contract agreement, and etc. 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 Now, in this whole model, when you are saying the same model to your investor or to your jury, you have to be very careful, or you have to be very specific why they will do it, how you will create your model continued, and how you can ensure sanctity of your model. So when you're talking of the business model, all these things should be summarized in a simple English, not more than 2.5 minutes, maximum 2.5 minutes, but points should be there. Then jury will come back to you. Okay, Mr. XYZ, you told this thing. Can I ask a question? Then you have a time to explain it in bigger. So that way you are giving the space and thinking process to your jury to come back to you, but you should create some scope so that they can come back to you. So this is the thing we have thought of, and we love to discuss in detail how we have done. So then they have something in their mind, the jury. Okay, he has created a model and he likes to give an indication, he likes to discuss it more. So there is the opportunity for learning more. Then we will come back to you again. So this is the way you are pulling the investors or the jury or the whoever maybe in your audience towards you. These are the very strategic tool, but 2.5 minute maximum you can play. Next slide, please. As I told you last time in the business model, this is also part of more or less that, but you have to show the market potential if you need to raise fund. Otherwise, nobody will give you money, because people, whatever the work you are doing, whatever the achievement you are reaching, that have already have reached, for that nobody will have open their pocket. They'll be looking for, if I'm giving you 100 rupees, can I get 135 rupees within 1 or 2 years? So that is the venture capital thought process. And if I have angel investor, okay, if I'm giving 100 rupees, can the impact grow more than 50%? So that is the impact investors model. And quasi investor is that, okay, I like to buy it out, so how much money I can make it out. So there are different model and different audience and different investing and different situation. Based upon that, they will take a call. But in every of these model, in every of these situation, your proposition should be clear. Currently, I am catering 1 lakh farmer. After your support, I can go to 2.5 lakh within 1 year, and that will increase my revenue by more than 300%. So this is very specifically, and that has to be substantiated with your assumption and proof that they can say, okay, whatever he is talking, that is no nonsense. He is having some data or some expertise or some knowledge or some quantification processes behind it. Next slide, please. Initially, whoever giving you money, they are not giving money for your innovation. They are giving money for you. You are the biggest brand. Always remember, your integrity, your position, your knowledge, your services, your marketability, your respect, your acceptance is the biggest factor for getting your acceptance or money or investment, etc., 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 etc. So once I'm talking of you, it is not you alone, you and your surrounding, the team. This is very important. Many startups, we start with 1 or 2%, and then gradually we have 2 or 3, after 2 years, maybe 4 or 5. It happens. There is no harm. You don't need to have 200 people in 1 year, 3 year. No, I don't care. Even if you have 3 people, I'm fine. But these 3 people, what they are doing, how they are doing, what is the expertise, why they're suitable for that task, and how they can take it ahead. That clarity should be there. Even if you're 3 people, I don't have any problem. 3 people started for after 3 years, 4 years, I don't have any problem. Provided you prove or you substantiate or you defend these 3 people's role clarity, their expertise and their capacity, and that has to be market centric. So team is very important. Number is not important. Quantity is not the important. Quality is important. In the quality, you have to have a specific role chart. We did one exercise with one startup in IIT Kanpur, and we found that some of the marketing people are free writer. So the marketing people are taking advantage of non-compliance or non-rigorous monitoring system. Correct? So some people are doing hard work, some people are doing less work, but at the end of the day, everybody is happy because everybody is getting good money because result is very high. Then we did a strategy. We did a whole role clarity exercise with all the team members. The owner of the startup was very unhappy initially with me because sir, why you are doing so many people, so many clarity, so many things, so many time, etc., etc., etc. But we did rigorously role clarity, and then he agreed and he did it very diligently. And when we clearly understood that out of 11 people, we need only 8. 3 are redundant. So we don't kick them off. Now this is important. We don't kick them up. We created a model such that these 3 can be can be absorbed in other scenarios. Now, why this is important for you? This is not important for the pitch level, but this is important for that guy because when a few days back, when he was talking to the investor, he gave this example that this is my team and this is the exercise I have done the team and this is the role clarity we got and this is the people, even though they were redundant, but we deployed them as per their skill in other scenarios. These gave huge impact. After that, the investor, I had me and Professor Bandabadai had a meeting with them, and he was very happy that such a detailed work has gone behind it, and that team is really strong enough. So in summarization, in initial phase, your team may be small, but keep it small, no problem, but keep it clarified, keep it defined, keep it specific, and those role clarity should be there in your pitch when you talk to your investor or supporter. Next slide, please. This is, I don't need to say anything. I think everybody you know it. Whatever you tell that has to some use cases, some sort of revenues model, whatever the thing you have done, whatever the word you are making, that should have some substantiative data. It can be use case, can be anything. But why am this thing? You might not have so many things. You might have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Initially, when I started 20, 30 years back, there was no question of startup. Nobody believed it. I didn't know what is use case. I only need the case study. So that time it was people used to talk about case study. So I used to write every pharma story who are using my innovation and how they are failing, how they are succeeding. Later on, we made a structure and etc. 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 Recently, I was part of a fintech company evaluation committee, and they were talking of very state-of-the-art IoT system, Internet of Things system, and cloud-based system where they can jolly well jot down each woman specific how much lending they have taken and how much lending they have repaid, she has repaid back, and how that has gone to the capacity building, financial building, proxy building, social capital building, etc., etc., etc. My point over here is that in my case, it was absolutely primitive, absolutely useless. I did not know how to do it. In this case, they are state-of-the-art system. But the point here, the message to the investor, the message to the jury was that, yes, they are progressing. That is important. How you are progressing, what is the growth, is all get determined in back of the jury mind, back of the investor's mind. You don't need to tell them, they're far much more intelligent than us. But you have to feed them specific data so that they can take their decision, they take their calculation on their own. And that is your traction. Your traction told by you doesn't make any sense. You make your jury, your audience to understand, assess your traction by themselves. is the real success. Only important part over here, if you receive any award or recognition, please mention it with a thorough detail. Otherwise, don't mention the awards, because awards without the backing up doesn't make any sense. Next slide, please. This is the important point for all of my friends. Whenever you complete a talk, whether it's a 3-minute talk, whether it's a 5-minute talk, whether it's a 1-minute talk, etc., 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 always remember there should be a call to action. What next? So you should not leave them just after the talk. You should create a scenario that there is a call to action. So there will be a next step. In simple language, what next? Do I need to give something? Do I need to come back to you? I need this thing. How can I help you? Or if you find that the program is not going well, that whole talk is not going well, people are not happy with you, they might not give you money, they might not select you. Fine, you can judge from the body language if you are a good body language expert. Then create a different game. Create them. If any of your, they are not going to select you, correct? You got some indication, but you can say, sir, if any of your partner has any problem, my innovation, if useful for them, I'm ready to help. So please let me know how I can help you. So instead of taking anything, you have started offering help. So then they again come back to you. So this is a very interesting game. I was in University of Oxford, and there was one lady, I cannot name her. So her presentation went haywire on the climate financing. It was haywire. She's a very intelligent. She was the University of Columbia and then University of Oxford, highly qualified. But our presentation went haywire. It was not taking any sense anywhere. So she's an intelligent lady, very intelligent lady, very younger than us. And then she immediately changed herself, her tone, her language, her body language. Sir, I think this session is going on very well from my perspective, and I think this is my responsibility to extend all help for climate finance, especially climate finance inclusion for the women, and especially for Africa and Southeast Asia, where we are active. If you have any of your partner who have a challenge of climate finance inclusive for the women, we can jolly well give them the tools and support and handholding to make it happen. And it will be a complimentary gift from our side, because you gave us so much of time to listen to our program. So it is my responsibility to give you back. That statement from that lady totally changed the body language of the whole juries, because jury found that we are here to give money, or we are here to dictate what we can give you. This lady is actually offering us what we can give others. So then she is far ahead of us. So then whole body language, whole game change within 1 second. And we all have to rebuild our thought process. And then again, within the next 2 minutes, we again clubbed together, and again we worked upon it, and again took her points very well. And then she qualified for the going forward. So this is the trick. This is the strategy. This is the way forward. So there are different ways you have to play at a time, and always be on your feet, on your toes, to understand what is happening in front of you. Next slide. Last word: practice and practice and practice and practice and improve. Whether it is 1 minute or 10 minutes, 30 seconds or 30 minutes, doesn't bother. You have to practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. I will give you one secret story, a secret sauce, as I should say. In IIT Kanpur, I am jury mentor with one startup. The guy might not be very good in English. I don't bother. Nobody bothers. But the guy, I was amazed. He has a pitch for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Can you believe it? Can you just believe it? And whatever he is telling, all are included in all these sessions, specifically included. Nothing is lost. And he knows very well what to talk in front of BK Biplab, what to talk in front of AB, what to talk in front of Sudha Madam, what to talk in front of Ankush sir, without buttering anyone. That is the important. He knows what message at what time, and he prepares him like a hell. Till 2 o'clock night, he calls me and he tells me, sir, this I have prepared for my 3-minute talk. Am I missing anything? And then 4 o'clock morning, he called me and tells, sir, my 30 minutes talk is too big. Can I make 22 minutes? This is the perfection. And this can come only practice, 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 and improve. Thank you. Next slide, please. This is my details and my coordinates. Anybody and everybody, whoever is interested for any knowledge, if I have, I will try to help you. This is the connection. My LinkedIn is Biplab Ketanpal. You can check in my LinkedIn and you can find some use cases what I've explained in my LinkedIn also. Thank you. I'm through. Vatsala ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, my sincere thanks to you for this exceptional presentation you've made today. I'm sure all our startup founders, my colleagues, will make use of the insights and the expertise that you have shared with us today. Any questions from anyone? Kindly raise your hands or you can text. Everyone has my contact number also. In case you feel there are any queries that you want to ask later on, kindly text me. I will get those answers for you, or I'll put you in connect with Biplab sir. To me, it was a very clear presentation, and I feel it's same for the participants also. Okay. So, sir, I don't think there are any questions. It was a very, very clear presentation, very clear messages you've put across. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this webinar. Stay tuned. We will be back with another important topics also. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.